Greetings to all of you, and I want to say that I hope this conference is going to be successful, and that all of you will leave the conference feeling a lot more inspired, as well as learning the importance of speech. Speech is an important part of life. It is an important medium through which we can communicate both our thoughts and our feelings. We often find that we are not really expressing what is innermost in our hearts and minds. We either sugarcoat and misrepresent the things that we actually want to say, or we get angry, and anger drives us to say other things besides what we really want to communicate. So a big part of communication is to be able to control both your anger and also to remember that honesty and speaking what is really in your mind and what you want to communicate is important. So this festival, I'm sure, will help us to work towards better communication strategies and better ways in which we can communicate our innermost thoughts. I hope all of you will enjoy and will take away a lot from this conference. Thank you, and wish you all the best.
My name is Kumani Mogeri. I'm one of the founders of the TAB NPC. TAB NPC is an organization for creatives which seeks to create sustainable environment for creatives in the practice. We get to empower our creatives to find ways of enterprising their art. They are not just entertainers, but they are business people who are making money out of the art. So it's about programs that we run for them. A lot has happened, especially during COVID. We witnessed a situation where creatives who were dependent on grants, they couldn't make ends meet, and there was a lot of protests that we have seen. And that was also a wake-up call to say we are doing the right thing. And it is important also to create awareness in society that our people who are in the creative space, they deserve recognition and acknowledgement and reward, just like a plumber, just like a carpenter, just like an accountant, just like any profession you can name. So part of the work that we do is to try and create that awareness to say, when you have a creative in your event, they're as good as the person who's doing the decor, the whom you have paid 50,000 rand. That's what is important and a part of the work that we do. We are grateful today to work in partnership with Worldspeechday South Africa, led by Vino here, who will come to the floor just after me, because Worldspeechday, which will expand more in terms of what it seeks to achieve, we found it a perfect partner, because today here we've got our storytellers who will come and use the power of their voice and speech making to send messages across the world and the community at large, who will use the power of their creative art to engage the audience and convey messages that would sometimes not be commonly conveyed if we are using the non-conventional, the common methods of engagement. So we're here to mark the Worldspeechday in this fashion, and I'd love to say to everyone who's here, you are welcomed as we gather here at Constitution Hill, a place that has got a lot of history in our country, and this history and the significance of the place that we are at here is highly regarded across the continent and beyond the borders of the continent. Everywhere you go, I'm likely to have traveled the continent and beyond the continent, but everywhere you go, people will tell you about Nelson Mandela, they will tell you about Bishop Tutu, they will tell you about Winnie, they will tell you, if they can't put names to South Africa, but everybody feels represented by the work that the giants that have built this country have done. And how did they do it? They used the power of their voice. They did not use violence, no guns, no nuclear. They didn't use any bombs. They spoke. And they spoke truth to power. And this is the truth to power, the truth to our communities, which we will still be able to take across using the power of our voice. So we are blessed in that regard. And on that note, I declare the session open. And I'll invite you, Vino, to
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you so much for opening the session and for the introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome. Thank you for being here. So just to give you some context with respect to this event, we're calling this our flagship event. So I'm with Worldspeechday South Africa, and I joined at the end of 2016, and we set up as a non-profit organization in 2020. We've had, I think, over 100 nations participating in WSD since inception. Lots of youth, lots of businesses, people all over the world participate every year. This year, we are the official host of the Worldspeechday 10th Anniversary World Convention. We've offered support in several different ways. But as Worldspeechday South Africa, it was important to us to have as much participation as we could. And I'm very, very proud to say that, there's 4 components to this Worldspeechday 10th Anniversary World Convention. Firstly, we have all the events across the globe that are taking place and that will be live streamed on Saturday. And in South Africa, International Women's Day, I launched the virtual Women's Forum, which is a partnership between Worldspeechday Women, which is also something that I started in 2020, and which is a generation equality commitment maker under the theme of feminist movements and leadership, where we amplify voices of individuals and organizations that are striving to achieve gender equality. So we, in partnership with the East African community, launched the Virtual Women's Platform, and we're going to have a program running for the next year. Then Worldspeechday Speech Day South Africa, through the support of the National Lotteries Commission, has rolled out 50 reading corners. These reading corners are actually for the World Speech Day South Africa Sustainable Development Goals Book Club, which is something that was launched by the United Nations in April 2019. A week later, we launched our reading corner at the Swanee Leadership Foundation, which is a non-profit organization that serves the vulnerable communities of the city of Swanee. That has grown, and during COVID we took it online, and we've got a substantial participation and activity online. And I'm very proud to say, just the other day I received an email from the For Good platform that we are on, where they said that we are now one of their preferred partners, and we're moving up a tier because through that platform we have people like Bongi and Lesedi who've come through, along with I think over 100 other volunteers wanting to be a part of our program. So I'm very proud of the SDG Book Club, because through that book club we aim to empower youth by creating an awareness of the Sustainable Development Goals and the role that they as active citizens play in understanding these goals and realizing these goals themselves. And it's something that we've been forced since inception, and I think it is growing. So we have Gumani here and Sakani, who also is representing Sakani today, who've come and taken our reading corners to Northwest Province and Limpopo in their vehicles. We have Oliver, who is also a recipient with the Hotel Home Ministries, where their children have received it. And finally, this event today is a flagship event. We thought it would be very fitting, partly because we have this fantastic partnership with TAB NPC. And when I heard about what TAB does by way of storytelling and how they want to promote this, amongst other things, for artists or creatives rather, I thought, what better way to have, to celebrate World Speech Day locally than to get together with other creatives and further show how we are amplifying voices together. And of course, we have our other partners that are Constitutional Human Rights Precinct. So as Gumani had said, we are sitting here in a place that is steeped in history. As Videshni reminded me, it's a place where women and children were incarcerated during apartheid, and lots of activists were actually jailed right here. So this venue is the women's jail, where women and children were imprisoned. And I think to have our event in a place with this kind of history and this kind of story to tell is truly, truly special. And we have a lot more, so much more to share with you. We have Claire, who's just come from a school today. Claire wrote a book about her entrepreneurial journey, and she just went to a group of grade 7s at Sparrow schools to speak to them about entrepreneurship, which is quite useful for grade 7s who are doing market day as a part of EMS and life orientation. So we are all about making an impact, a meaningful impact. And all of you being here today are showing your support and are helping us take what we want to do in our cause just a little bit further by believing in what we do and taking the time to be here with us today. So on that note, I would like to say I'm really appreciative of the storytellers that are here today. I think you are going to really shine and give the rest of the world something really and truly authentically African and South African through your storytelling. So I can't wait to hear it. Thank you.
Thank you, Vina. The event is happening. We are at it. It's happening. It's live. right here from Johannesburg. And I'll be inviting Thabang. Thabang is one of our brilliant storytellers. He will come here and do the honor of introducing himself in first person, the way he wants us to know and the way he wants the world to know him. I will not introduce him beyond just saying it's Thabang. So Thabang, if you can come, the floor is yours.
Good day, everyone. Good morning. My name is Thabang Maduna from Tembisa. I'm a storyteller, an artist. This is the job that I'm doing on a daily basis. Then most of the time I introduce myself by saying I'm the kid's favorite, but today I'm the people's favorite. Yes, yeah. So I'm going to do a story. My story, the title is A Chance. It's talking about a chance. So my story, it will happen just right now. One day, there was Samson Kumalo. Samson Kumalo studied journalism for 3 years. But since he studied journalism for 3 years, he hasn't found work for 2 years. So that's worrying about him. 1 year, dololo. 2 years, dololo. So now he doesn't have food, doesn't have money for bread, nothing. He tried many companies, many reports, but there's nothing for him. So the story starts like this. Actually, I'm tired. I've been looking for work. Why don't I find a work? I studied. This country taught us that for 12 years you must go to school, then after you go to university, then you will get a job of your dream. But even today, I haven't found my dream job. Why is this happening? Okay, fine. Let me try to check my emails. Maybe there's something. Then Samson will find the very, very most famous message that we always get. Dear applicant, we are sorry to inform you that your applicant has been unsuccessful. Please try to apply for other opportunities. Then started to be furious. What are other opportunities? I want to be a journalist. I don't need other opportunities. I need to be a journalist. What is happening? I've studied. All my friends are working today. All my friends are driving Mercedes-Benz. Some others BMW. Be my wife. What is wrong with me? I need to find the work. What can I do now? Let me just try to put some CVs or letters. Maybe these things of emails doesn't work for me anymore. I think with these letters, I will go to the streets of Johannesburg and give everyone that is white and everyone that is wearing a suit, because those people, they are other people, okay? I need the jobs. Yes. Let me just wait for a day. I know tomorrow when I wake up, I will find a job. Those people won't just take my papers for nothing. I know what people, they hire people like us. I know people who wear suits, they hire people like us. Then Samson Kumari was so surprised because there was no message on his phone again. But there was another email that was sent 2 years ago. It says, "Dear applicant, we are sorry to inform you that your application has been unsuccessful. Please apply again for another opportunities." Damn! What kind of opportunities? I want to be a journalist. I went to school for this thing. I don't want to be a carpenter. I don't want to stay in the office. The only thing I want to do, I want to go to the ground and report to the world. What's wrong? Maybe Samson Mabena, he have a pride because the ones called him to come and do a simple job, but he refused. They said he wants the job of his dreams. Okay, fine. Maybe if I can go to these people and try to present myself, they will hire me like Tamil Mbeki when he was doing his speech, like, "I am an African, but I can't do that." But then Samson remembered that he can be a revolutionarist. Yes. And now he makes things worse, goes to these offices and hey, what's happening? Security, please deal with that crazy man. I am not crazy. I've studied for this thing. This is my certificate. This is a degree. And security, please remove that crazy man. Then Samson Mabena was like, "I'm not a security. I'm a journalist. You must hire me. My friends are working here. What have I done? Lord, what have I done?" And then then they say, "You Samson are taking a chance. Now we are calling the police because Samson's scared of police. Ran away." What must I do now? I can't find the work of my dreams. I have a degree. What went wrong? They say to us we must go to school, that after going to school, go to university, that after university, we'll find a work and build a big house, have a nice car, Mercedes-Benz, be my wife. But Samson Mabena didn't have a luck of finding a job. Because Samson is the person of Facebook and everything, using his iPhone. Yes. Then he had a plan. Now his pride is going away. Because at the very same company, they want people to clean. And he's not a cleaner, but they want people to clean. So now he wants to use this chance of getting inside and be a cleaner so that he can be so close with his dream job. They decided to go there and look for a work, and guess what? This time they've sent an important email. "Dear applicant, we love to inform you that your application has been successful. You can start by tomorrow as you can." It's like, yes. And started to be a cleaner now. Wearing his reflectors, everything in blue. But those people, they didn't know Uchi or Samson. He's educated, have degrees, always telling him to mob everything that is not good. But Samson was just so clever because he went there because he wants to be so close to his dream job. Remember, Samson was also a dancer, doing campus dance, like and there, Samson, we are not here to dance, we are here to work. Oh, I forget. Okay, fine, man. Then Samson got tired. Whew. And Samson said, now I can't do this. I'm a journalist, not a cleaner. Why did I went to school? To be a cleaner? No, this is wrong. Then Samson decided to do another dance. Hey Samson, you want me to fire you? Sorry ma'am. I was just trying to exercise. Then Samson was like, okay, now I'm so close in finding my job, my dream job. Then the next day, Samson went to work, but now there was a post inside. Remember, in this company, they don't put posts outside, but they put posts where? Inside. Then he saw a post that we need to hire a journalist as soon as possible. And Samson was like, oh, this is mine. Decided to take a phone, because on his phone there was always his documents ready. And Samson took a picture of it. Then Samson decided to take his document and apply and press it. Guess which is that company? They decide. Samson. Samson was so happy, he took them all. Anyone was surprised. Why Samson is so happy today? I'm so close to find my dream job. Ooh, okay. This thing will be over in no time. I will buy a big house. I will buy the Mercedes-Benz and be my wife, the BMW. Then practicing for his new job. But he can't dance. He only knows how to dance campus dance. That was an email. Can you guess what message is this now? You all don't know. Ooh, I don't have data. Samson can't open the email because there's no data anymore. But Samson remembered that if you can go to the gate, there's a free Wi-Fi. Samson decided to go to the gate. Yes. Dear applicant, you are successfully... No, I can't finish this writing. This job is mine. Can you please come in the interview as soon as you can? Yo! Yes! Being my wife is coming now. The BMW is coming now. I'm going to build a big house. La 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 la. God is good. You, I'm not a cleaner anymore. Not a cleaner anymore. Yes! Not a cleaner anymore. You want me to be cleaner? Share. Yes. Yeah. Let me take you to the dustbin. Because I don't need you anymore, my friend. But you have helped me. Without you, how will I find this job? always have his green idea. But everything that he finds, he knows that he's able. Yes. Now Samson find a way, and he's starting as soon as possible and threw his worksuit to the dustbin because the tree has a pen. He has found a chance of doing his dream job of being a journalist. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Like Taban said, my name is Elelwang Soko. Elelwang means to be awake, to take note. That's all in my introduction. This story is about a girl named Tukoloho. Tukoloho means freedom. Tukoloho lived in Lesotho with her mother and father. Everybody referred to her father as Morena, my lord in English. His father was a man who was terrorizing the whole village. Everyone would shiver from hearing his name only. And today was Tukoloho's father's funeral. And she was meant to give a speech, which didn't go exactly as how everyone expected. She was all dressed up, looking nice. She wasn't weeping. And then she took a stand. Dumelang. My name is Tukoloho. And that over there is my father. A man you all feared. A man who you would shiver just from seeing him or hearing his name. I know you're expecting me to wear all black, crying besides my mother, but I can't. Every little girl dreams to have this fantasy life of being treated nice. I got all that, but my mother didn't. Even today, she's still dressed as a maid. My father treated her as a maid. Tukoloho. I always asked my mother, why did you name me Tukoloho? And she would always say, I gave birth to my freedom. I didn't understand what it meant. Growing up, I was getting a nice treatment. My father had everything. He provided everything that we needed and desired. Well, everything I needed and desired. Everything. It was only when I was 15. I came back from school. Oh, Papa, okay, let me tell you about my day. I had a beautiful day, except there's this guy who goes to and he's always making my life miserable. And I told him about you. I told him, my father is this big man who's feared by everyone. And he said, big man? Your father is a big man? I'm not scared of your father. My father is a soldier. He's out there fighting for our country. And if your father and my father were standing together, your father would die. I was terrified. But when I told him the other name that people called you, Morena, he cried. He cried until he pissed himself. I don't know what that meant, but I had a great day. It was when he pissed himself that I had a smile on my face. So his father looked at her and said, do you know why I'm called Morena? You're too young to understand. I'll explain to you once you're 22 years old. Maybe then, well, that's if you don't have a boyfriend. Papa, I don't do boys, you know that. Everything continued. It was okay. was being treated like a princess. Why would you complain? I still didn't understand, or with everything that we had in the house, why did my mother dress up like a maid? It broke my heart. Sometimes I'll find my mother locked up in a storeroom, crying. There was a day when I came back home, I asked my dad, Papa, Mama, okay? He said, you know your mother. Hey man, her mother is sick, so she had to go away for a week at least. But she would come back, she'll come back, you'll be fine. In the meantime, I bought you everything that you said you wanted in the morning. Our storeroom was very cold. I was told never to go there. Didn't know that my mother spent a week in that storeroom, locked up. For a very stupid reason. Because for once in her life, she said no to my father. No to cooking. No to doing the dishes. No to mopping the floor. No to doing the laundry. After a week, I saw my mother. She was very thin. Her lips were dry. She had tears in her eyes. I asked her, what happened, Mama? She said it was all my fault. You don't say no to Marina. In early 26 June, last month, came back home. I'm 22 now. I finally understand why people call my father Morena. It's not because he's this wonderful man who deserves to be a king. No. It's because they feared him. The things he did to their families. My father always took and took and took. He never asked for anything. Everything belonged to him. I came back home. Dinner set up. It looked nice. My mother is a great cook, by the way. She was ready, kneeling down, had a dish with water in her hands. She was shaking. That's how my father used to wash her hands before he ate anything. My mother had to kneel down, give him water to wash his hands. He said to her, today I want you to feed me. I'm too lazy. My mother stood up. She looked at him and said, today I'm very lazy. I'm tired. 23 years of my life, I served you. Didn't ask any questions. The last time I said no, I was locked up in a storeroom that is so cold. My father got angry. Next to the table, it was a small cupboard. That cupboard had a gun and bullets. It belonged to him. My father was always ready to fight. Was not scared of anyone. Remember, Morena, right?
Yeah.
Morena is not scared of anyone. People were terrified. Just from hearing his name or just seeing him. I had bottled up so much. My mother had bottled up and enjoyed so much from this man. She went to the cupboard, opened it, took the gun. I thought, Wabapala, she's joking, right? She won't do me anything. I mean, she's been serving this man for 23 years of her life. What will she do now? She took the gun, placed it in front of him, and said, Mbulai, I'm tired. My baby's all grown up now. Mbulai. My father took the gun, put the bullets on, placed the gun in front of me and said, "You do it for me." I had to make a choice. I asked my mother why she named me Tukoloha. And she said, "I gave birth to my freedom." I pulled the trigger, except I didn't shoot my mother. Tukoloha. I became the freedom for my people. I became the freedom for my mother. And I'm a free woman today. I mean, who would arrest me? Even the police were scared of him. I freed everyone. Thank you.
Wow, thank you.
Power on. Bluetooth mode.
This is sabotage. Okay, let's step in for Eleanor Soccer again. Okay, then fine, but now we are having our last storyteller, also from the type NPC. Her name is Mbali Zwane, the African lady. Let's step in for her.
Sanbonani.
Hello.
No, it's not Sanbonani. Sanbonani, yebo. Sanbonani,
Yebo.
My name is Mbali Zwane. I'm going to tell you a story today. I call it no story retention. But I know very interesting. But yeah, people are like, let's just put a little bit back. So you guys are gonna be at least feel relaxed. When I say, oh, you're gonna just keep on saying ikota, whatever I'm saying, you said ikota after me, ne? I don't like people when they're silent. Just vugali, Yinenda.
Ikote.
Indaba emnandi.
Ikote.
Emfuna ukuyixoxa.
Ikote.
Ngizoyixoxa.
Ikote.
Ngiyixoxele wena.
Ikote.
Utshele lo.
Ikote.
Atshele lo.
Ikote.
Yinenda.
Ikote.
Indaba emnandi.
Ikote.
Emfuna ukuyixoxa.
Ikote.
Okay, now let's change. Say tushele. Ngilihambile izowela.
Tushele.
Ngilihambile izowela.
Tushele.
Ngilihambile izowela.
Tushele.
Ngaze ngafike khonhili weba.
Tushele.
Ahlangana namadoda amabili.
Tushele.
Wathi ngubani?
Tushele.
No, I want energy. Ngilihambile izowela.
Tushele.
Ngilihambile izowela.
Tushele.
Ngaze ngafike khonhili weba.
Tushele.
Ahlangana namadoda amabili.
Tushele.
Wathi ngubani?
Tushele.
Owakazwani.
Tushele.
Umangete.
Tushele.
Untshosha.
Tushele.
Ungazibona.
Tushele.
Okay, you are now fine. When I say kwasukasukela, said Ozi, ne? Ozi, easy. Everyone can say it. Ozi, Ozi. Can you say that again? Ozi,
Ozi.
Kwasukasukela,
Ozi.
Kwasukasukela,
Ozi.
Long time ago, in a beautiful township. No, it wasn't a township, it was a village. In a beautiful village, there was a girl named Unokaniso. Unokaniso was very intelligent, beautiful, with afro hair, dark in complexion. Hey, why me at She was very, very, very beautiful. Her voice was like one of, I don't know. When she speaks, people listen. When she says attention, everyone will laugh. She was a community leader and a youth leader. She was so brilliant at school. She was loved by everybody. Then Unuganiso had a stepsister. Stepsister was Uluzi. Uluzi was also beautiful and brilliant. But she was very jealous of Unuganiso because Unuganiso was always outshining her. Even in the class, when they asked questions, Unuganiso would just raise her head and say, and she was speaking like nice English with that nice voice. And most people would be like, hey, this one, Shuang Po Raman. And even in a meeting, in a community meeting, every time when you say attention, and most people say also attention, no one will listen to Onoziko. They will always listen to Onoganiso, and they're like, no man, hey, this girl, this sister of mine, you will say when she come, maybe in the room, everyone will be like, no Ganiso, no Ganiso. Oh no, why they don't call my name? Why I'm so invisible to people? It's always her. Yo, she was always, she had that anger. She didn't like her sister, really. One day, she was just so crying because she was so jealous. She was crying, sitting alone at the back of the yard. And she was crying for nothing, just because of jealous. And she started crying. There comes Umtagati. I say, hey, Nozipo, why are you crying? It's my sister, man. She always outshine me and I'm always invisible. And Umtagati said, you know what I'm going to give you? I'm going to give you something that will make her really invisible. No one will notice her. Just keep quiet and say nothing. So what we're going to do, we're going to give her this apple. When you eat this apple, she's going to be so invisible. No one will notice her. Your Noziko was so happy. Yes. And Mtagati said, make sure she doesn't see that mirror her mother gave her. Because if she looks herself in that mirror, she'll be visible again. Then Noziko said, yeah, I'm going to hide that mirror. There comes Onoziko. Hey, Nonganiso, there's an apple. And then Nonganiso was like, you, smiling. What's wrong? No, just it's an apple, I've got a lot. Huh? She ate an apple. Then she became invisible. And Noziko hid the mirror. Then she was so invisible. Then there was a community meeting. And she went there. Sanbonani, you guys are happy. No one noticed her. She went to school, started studying, and like, hey, mistress, it's me. No one noticed her. Wherever she go, no one noticed her. But what's wrong with me? Attention. Remember when she say attention, everyone will listen. Attention, guys, attention. She was invisible. She was completely invisible. What happened to me? Then she started crying, but still invisible. Then comes Noziko, was now shining. She was now a community leader. She was brilliant in the class. Everyone now started loving Noziko. But Noziko was rude. Even though she was beautiful, but she was rude. She ended up not liked by some people. And they were asking, where is your sister? I don't know. I go, where is your sister Nonganiso? I don't know. No, man. Hey, always shouting at people. And this side, Nonganiso was always crying now because she's invisible. No one noticed her. Then she started crying. And she started walking around the room. She went to the bush. Then she found an old man. And the old man said, Nonganiso, sawubona. And Nonganiso was like, you can see me? Yes, I can see you. You are beautiful. With your afro, dark skin, you are so beautiful. I'm invisible. People don't notice me anymore. I know your story. You know what we do? Go and find that mirror your mother gave you. Then you'll be visible again. Then she went and get a mirror. She looked for a mirror in the house. Remember, the jealous sister hid it. And she looked at the mirror, she looked for the mirror until she found it. When she looked at stuff in the mirror, there she was visible again. Then there she comes. And she said, attention, attention, and everyone was, where do you come from? Then she went to the king and told the king what happened. And Umuzi got a serious punishment for what she did. And she learned not to be jealous. That was the end of the story.
Let's give them hands of applause once again. You can do better than that. You can do better than that. Thank you very much. That was brilliant. You know, you guys, you take us up, throw us there, pull us back, take us through emotions in a minute. That's powerful. We've got our sister here from Constitution. You want to have a word with the audience?
Thank you.
Voice yours.
Thank you so much. My name is Zwibo Yamamashek. You call me Zwi. Trying to avoid breaking it. There we go. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for always choosing us, as your venue. We feel honored. You are sitting in one of the conference spaces which carry a very emotional past, if I can say that. So Cornhill was a prison for a few decades, from 1896 until 1983. So this very specific prison was built 1910, and then it was used as a prison until 1983. And it housed beautiful women. It housed women who were kept here for several reasons. Some of them were here because they believed that South Africa deserves democracy, which we did as a country. So this very specific room was a hospital wing for the women's jail. There are women who gave birth right in here, those who were non-white. The white prisoners were privileged enough to be taken out of the prison, out to a hospital outside of the prison, but the non-whites gave birth to, when I say non-whites, I mean Africans, Asians, and colors. They gave birth to their kids here, which obviously affect the kids. Like Asenam used to say that my son was born here and that has affected him forever. So while you're sitting here, it looks pretty, out there it looks pretty, there's the grass, there's the red bricks, yet for a lot of women here, this was a space where fighting happened, activism happened. The women would meet outside by the lawn, and then they would obviously, they thought, oh no, they're having a church service. Yet these women were sitting there strategizing. How do we continue? Where do we meet when we get out of here to actually march? So if you think about the Women's March of 1956, if you think about the Youth March of 76, so many women were brought. So people know about the youth, they marched, but so many women were brought here because of that, because women were believed to be fueling the students' uprisings, and they were brought here. Winnie Mandela being one of them. So you are sitting at now World Heritage Site, which is something that we are still celebrating. We declared only last year, August, as a World Heritage Site, as Constitution Hill. So it's something that we're still celebrating at this point. And we thank you for always choosing us, and you choosing us over and over, then it makes us even more relevant for our communities. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's give a hand of applause and see. Wonderful. Your smiles are talking loud. The first of them. Have a mic. Say a word in reflection. Anybody? Yourself? You can come to the floor. I'm a very generous, considerate, and Democrat man. The floor is open. After, if you want to take a moment for reflections and just want to have a word, you are welcome. Thank you. Thank you for honor.
Thank you so much for having us as guests here today and for sharing rich storytelling of your cultures with us. I have not enjoyed my morning. I've found every story to be very, very moving. I've found it to be evocative. I've found it to go straight to the heart, bypassing the rational mind entirely. But that's what artists do, isn't it? You touch, you leave a mark on the heart. And I'm absolutely honored and privileged to be here today to listen to you. Thank you so much for inviting us along to listen to you.
A reflection from my left. Anybody? My sister. I call her Precious and Clay.
Thank you so much. That was a beautiful reflection of most of South African stories out there. So I commend you for packaging the stories and telling them, because we watch a lot of movies and it's other people's stories that we watch. So you are the representation of what goes on, you know, in our everyday life. The struggle with the job, it's real, you know. The home dynamics, you know, with the GBB in South Africa, it's real. And the rivalry between, you know, sisters. So I don't think there's anyone who didn't resonate, especially South African, with either one of the stories. Hopefully not all of them. You know, and I saw Thriller. I mean, the other story was a real thriller there. So it was like we are in a movie, you know, there's a movie playing in your mind and stuff. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Indeed, that was powerful. Sisi, you are on the spotlight.
Jumbo Africa. My name is Sisi. I work for Channel Africa. And I'm just put on the spot now. So I'm a storyteller as well. Although I'm a journalist, a little bit different from what you guys do. I don't really stand in front of people, which I don't prefer. But I think, you know, the two speakers have spoken that the stories resonate with anybody, you know. GBV in South Africa, you know, even beyond the country. The stories, the one that you're talking about, Morena, you know, and it's something that happens even beyond South Africa. Although South Africa is indeed, GBV is a challenge in the world, but so I loved the stories a lot. So you did well, my sisters and brother. Thank you.
We appreciate all the work that you've put. Indeed, it goes deep and it goes a long way. And there's quite a whole lot of lessons we take from that, from the rivalry of the sisters. We learn that if we can all work together, we can do better. You know, the awakening in the homes, dynamics that some realities are true and valid, and sometimes we do not know what to do about them. But being aware creates that platform where we can be able to engage more and more, to say, oh, I'm not alone. And maybe let me tell you a story. This other day, I was coming from work. driving on my car 3 kilometers away from work. I'm driving through the farms, which is 10 kilometers towards the settlement where we stay. I find 3 cars parked on the roadside. It was a BMW, the old Busheshin, the square box. It was a Toyota Venture, and a car that I can't remember. They are parked on the roadside. So I slow down, I park behind them. When I look at the far left, maybe some 120, 40 meters, there are men gathered there standing, around 6 of them, under a bush, small tree. Something says, go there. I get into the farm through the barbed wire. Get into the farm. I walk there, ask the gentleman what's going on here. When I get in there, when I look, there's a lady lying, she's bleeding on her head. And I say to the guys, what is going on? Who is this lady? They said, no, we just found her here, we were trying to help and stuff like that. So no, we're taking the lady to the hospital now. The other 3, they left. The others, after some long discussions, they took the lady into their car. I escorted them to the hospital. Good enough, when we got there, my doctor friend was in charge of the, what we call the facility where you arrive at, casualty. Yes. Quickly she got attention, they shaved her head, stabilized her, obviously shaved her head and put the stitches on her head. And then I arranged that they take statements from the people who brought their head there. And a long story short, that there was no conviction in terms of the possible crime and stuff like that. The lady's life was saved. But why am I saying this? I'm saying this to say, sometimes a legal intervention goes a long way. I use also the power of my voice just to go and ask what's going on. And instead of getting the right answers, but at least the life was saved. I still don't know today which spirit carried me into the bush to follow 6 men who could have just swallowed me alive. So I'm saying this in resonance with the story told by LL1 to say a lot is happening. And one little intervention, paying attention, can really go a long way. These are the days of our lives, unfortunately. These are the realities that we live with. But the power is in our mouth. Let's give a hand of applause to the program thus far. Yes. Vino told me that this place is magical. It evokes things, you know, and I'm in agreement. But also, you know, I want to take this time now and call you to the platform for recognitions and acknowledgements.
Thank you so much. That is very, very useful.
Let's get a picture. Let's get. Let's give a hand of applause. Smile, picture.
Thank you. Bali.
Look at the pose. I know it doesn't disappoint.
We just like to recognize Constitution Hill and all the generosity in partnering with us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
There we go.
Okay, and then finally to Tan.
Oh, all right.
Thank you so much, Sumami, for a wonderful partnership. Thank you so much for this, and thank you to everyone. I think, it really came together so beautifully, and I think this is something really, truly special to come out of South Africa. To have this as a part of an entire array of events across the globe, and to know that this is what we put out there. So thank you. This is truly, truly meaningful.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Vino, for acknowledging us and everybody else who participated. We appreciate you. There is a saying I saw on social media. They say it's not the size of the fight in the dog, or the size of the dog in the fight, but what do they say? Something like that. South Africa keeps inventing new idioms and proverbs and stuff like that. But what they are trying to say is that, showing up is what matters. It's not the size of the dog that determines the fight, or the size of the fight. Is the showing up, the courage to show up. That's what matters. I can tell you that the way we are so many here, it even feels like, we are thousands in the stadium, but that is also because we represent many, and in this context we represent the country and many people in their diversity, and as we show up, we stand up for those who are unable to stand at the time when we are standing. That's what matters. And some of you might have received this kind of remarks and commendation to say, Precious, the fact that you are doing it, we know you're doing it for us. So when you show up as a storyteller, you show up for the entire industry. When you show up as an organizer, you show up for those who create platforms, for everybody. When you show up as a cameraman, you show up for those who tell stories through pictures and videos. When you show up as Vino, a philanthropist, what do you call it? Philanthropist. You show up for everyone. You give hope and courage to those who are not aware, and you make them believe. We may not have the dollars and the rands to give you, but the hope is a gift back to you. The life, the smiles, the inspiration is a gift back to you. And we appreciate you, everybody, for showing up. I think this brings us to the end of our session. All right, thank you very much. Let's give a hand of applause to ourselves.